So I just wanted to tell the story how I went to the YMCA at Abington, I think around 2019. I posted the video, but I deleted it. And I got bullied. So for a long time, I've always been homeschooled. Well, since like fourth grade, I think fourth grade, I've been homeschooled because schools in Philly, I feel like they sometimes really don't teach us anything. So I've been homeschooled for a long time. And for a long time, I've been bullied. Even when I was in school, I was bullied. So I went to the YMCA at Abington to go to camp, to be happy and, have experiences. And I got bullied there, right? Mind you, when I went to the camp, they told us that any form of bullying will be taken care of, right? And that was a complete bold-faced lie. They lied to people, and they lied to me. Because I was getting bullied by this kid named Interest and Brandon. They were bullying me because I liked this girl. And her name was Corinne. I had really liked Corinne, and I thought she was very attractive. So I would kind of be around her. And the guy, Interest, he had dated her. They weren't a thing anymore. But he kind of antagonized me and his friend Brandon because I had liked her, right? So after he kept antagonizing me, there was one point where he called her a dog. He called her a dog. So I was like, yo, man, you don't talk to no girl like that. You don't call them a woman or a girl a dog. So I told him that in his face. And after that, and there was plenty other times after that as well, he just kept messing with me. So my dad had talked to the other camp counselors, and after he had talked to them, the director of camp, which was a woman, she came to me and she said, if anything else happens, just let me know. So they dealt with the situation. My dad wanted to bring all the parents together to talk about these kids, but they didn't want to do that. But I had left camp. They even gave my dad back his money because, when you're in camp, you have to pay. So they gave my dad back his money. So he got paid back, and then I went back to camp, and it was a little bit better. But guess what? It got worse, and they didn't even care. They didn't do anything about it because they didn't care about the kids. All they cared about was the money. Let me give you an example. There was one time, and I didn't realize this until now, but there was one time that they had, hey guys, we got a fun activity for you to do, right? And it was painting. So you're thinking in your mind, okay, we're going to be painting, cool. They had us painting a wall white because there was an area at the bottom of the place we were at, that needed to be painted. So basically, they got free labor off of us. They told us, oh, you're going to be painting. It's going to be fun. And then I realized, wait a minute. I'm painting this wall. They ain't paying me no money. I'm doing this for completely free. And it was a kid's area for another, I think it was for another location for the camp. This was at the YMCA at Abington. They were relocating. So they didn't care about the kids also. All they cared about was the money. When I was getting bullied by Idris, he just messed with me because I had liked Corinne. So when it got to the point, I was starting to get really pissed off about it. I was telling the camp counselors this, and he just kept messing with me. There were multiple times. I can talk about this in another video, but it would be really long. But anyway, there was also a girl that was bullying me too at the YMCA at Abington. And they didn't do anything about it because all they wanted was money. They didn't care about the kids. All they wanted was money. Because here's my thing. There was this girl that had hit me on my forehead, right? So me and this girl had a weird kind of relationship before. I was trying to be nice to her and be friendly, friend, like a friend. So I had was talking to her, and then I think I put my hand on her shoulder and she said, don't touch me. So I was like, oh, sorry. But in my mind, I felt bad. Okay, maybe I shouldn't do that. I didn't mean to offend her or make her feel a certain type of way. So I was playing dodgeball, right? This same girl, right? I was playing dodgeball or I think basketball with my friends. Or a group of kids that I knew. So this same girl took that ball and she would not give it back. And I'm like, bro, You cannot be serious. You just took the ball and I'm asking you to give it back. She's like, no. So what I did was I put my hands on the ball. I didn't touch her because I respected her personal space. I said, I'm going to put my hands on the ball. I put my hands on the ball. She said, don't touch me. And she hits me on my forehead. And in that moment, this girl at camp, who was basically a bully, she was a horrible bully, right? In that moment, I was so angry, so mad. I wanted to punch her in the face. That's how mad I was. But at the same time, I didn't want to hurt her. So like in my mind, I was just conflicted. So I started crying and then I sat down. And then the camp counselors were like, so what happened? And I told them I touched the ball. I didn't touch her. I touched the ball and she hit me. And I was just so mad and I was crying in that moment. And one of the camp counselors, Mr. Isaiah, had kind of like helped me up a little bit. But I still feel like they really didn't care or do a good enough job for us as kids. So this same girl who I just told you that hit me on my forehead at camp, right? One day we were going to the movie theaters to see the movie The Lion King, right? This was in 2019, I think. And we went to see The Lion King. She had paid for something. We were in a long line, you know, and she paid for something and she dropped the change on the ground. She said, oh, I'm not worried about it. So I was behind her and I saw it on the ground. She didn't want it, so I picked it up. Next thing I know, this girl, the same girl that hit me on my forehead, said, oh, you're so poor. You're so poor. Just because I'm picking up change off the ground, you're going to call me poor? We're the same people. These are not other races of people. These are the same people, my own race. That she's gonna be so rude to me. She's gonna be like, oh, you're so poor. This is the same girl that hit me on my forehead saying I touched her. And she's calling me poor. And I remember we were arguing on the bus. The camp counselors were there. And we were arguing on the bus. And I said, you're so ignorant. And then another thing is one of the girls had said, why are you picking up change off the ground? I said, well, you know, some people have made $1 million off of saving up change. Or, you know, for a rainy day. You never know. So I was getting bullied by her and the other kids as well. Because it just all started to get really worse. And I was telling the camp counselors this. And they weren't doing anything. I know Miss Amanda, she was doing she did a great job on one of the days on something had happened to one of the boys and me, like an argument, and she kind of stood up for me. And she was arguing with another lady who I think was supposed to like watch over that boy or whatever. It was at the camp. So another time, something had happened. This is where it gets serious. The director of the camp, she was horrible. I'm going to be honest with you. That lady was terrible. Because she told me that anything else that happens to me, if I get bullied, this was the director of the camp at the YMCA at Abington. She told me if I get bullied or anything else happens to me, I can come to her and talk to her and she would fix it, right? So one day we're playing baseball, right? Outside. The camp counselors are out there, right? I'm playing baseball, right? And just so you know, before I was playing baseball, right? Everything was peaceful. Everything was going on. Okay, but still a little weird stuff with those kids. So as I started to play baseball, the kids started to make noise. Like when I was trying to pitch, they were like, ah, making noise. The camp counselors were right there. They're clearly bullying me. Like they're trying to make me mad. They're trying to piss me off, right? So every time I was playing, right, they just kept making noise. And the camp counselors didn't do anything and say, hey, stop. He's playing baseball. He's trying to pitch. Stop messing with him. They didn't do that. So I said, well, before I had said to them, I had said something. I had walked to them and talked to them. And one of my friends said, yo, man, they are saying some horrible stuff about you. And I think I don't know if he was Italian or I think he might have been Jewish. I don't know. He might have been I don't know what race he was, but I know he said, yo, man, they are just talking behind your back. Like, they're saying horrible things about you. So I told the camp counselors, I said, yo, get the director lady, get her. The one I was talking to her, get her, because I wanted to tell her what was going on. This lady came out and she gonna tell me, now this is the same camp. They said any form of bullying, we will take the kids out if they are bullying you. Those kids are clearly bullying me. This is abuse. I don't care what anybody says. They're abusing me mentally, basically, and annoying me. So the director comes out and she basically gives me this, well, they're just telling you words. They're just saying rude stuff to you. Anything they say to you, don't worry about it. But didn't you just tell me when I came in this camp, director, at the YMCA at Abington, you told me, you told everybody else, any form of bullying, we will take those kids out of the camp. And they are verbally bullying me. And you're telling me anything they say to you, just don't worry about it. That's ridiculous. That don't make any sense. That's stupid. And I'm thinking to myself, this lady gonna tell me this. But didn't y'all just tell us that any form of bullying, y'all take it out? That was a fat lie. So I just was shocked. I couldn't believe it. And I just kept getting bullied by the girl who hit me on my forehead and by the other two guys who were Idris, he kept antagonizing me, but the other guy, Brandon, he kind of stepped back a little bit. But I remember there was one day, this was my last day at camp, right? My last day at camp. And the director was terrible. Some of the camp counselors were bad. And the girl I had liked, she really didn't like me. But I felt like, in a way, I kept chasing her down. And I was trying to build a connection with her. But she really didn't like me. Because let me tell you something. I had got her number. We tried to talk, and it didn't even work out. And then I tried to talk to her one day. And because I really liked her. I saw her at Walmart. She was working at Walmart. And I got her phone number. So I called her. I said, hey, you want to meet up at the park? She said, sure. I'm talking to her, and she puts me on the phone with her friend who was transgender, or I think gay. And he was like, what do you think about transgenders? And I said, well, I didn't want to make a whole argument about it. So I just tried to not answer his questions. And I said, could you put Corinne back on the phone? And I said, well, I don't know you people. I didn't mean to say it in a rude way, but the dude took it in a rude way. He said, you people. He was mad. So I was like, I just want to talk to Corinne. I'm not trying to start an argument. And she was just laughing in the background, making fun of me. So I was like, man, you cannot be serious. So that was the girl, Corinne. And then it got to the situation. It was the last day of camp, right? The last day of camp. The guy Idris, I was about to fight him because he kept bullying me in front of the camp counselor. So we got up close to each other. I wanted to fight him. Dude was light skinned. I think he had twist or whatever. This was a long time ago. But anyway, I was mad. And the camp counselors broke it up. And then as he left, these two kids came up to me and they called me a B word. And then they said the S word. They said bitch and shit or something like that. They called me that and ran away. And I said, those two kids over there, to the counselors, they told me that. And I think they were friends with the kids who were bullying me. The moral of the story is, even though you get bullied, you got to keep fighting and fight for your dreams and never give up. Whew.